the next one is come and get a nice job. You know, he's an engineer. You
He's a
know,
doc.
my son is a
He's a
doctor.
doctor. He's got his
My son is a
masters.
doctor. He got his master. Exactly. Hello and welcome to the Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and strategies from entrepreneurs who've done it to grow your business and take yourself to the next level as a person. Today on the podcast, we got a Wildcard episode for you. Man, I'm excited just to chop it up. Owen, what's good with you, bro? How you doing?
Brap, pop, pop. You know, had to make a noise to make my entrance.
What was that? What was that?
You know, when you come in the club and like the guys with the gun and it's just like shooting up the club. Pap, pap, pap. Yo, everybody, listen up. You know, that's what I'm telling.
What?
Yo, you ever see those movies? Man's walk in the club with the gun. They just shoot up the ceiling. I was gonna say the sky, but they shoot up the ceiling to get everyone's attention.
Oh, like when they're trying to rob.
They're trying to rob, right?
Okay.
So that was me making an entrance to the podcast.
Okay, bro.
Or
Yeah, I see that coming.
the entrance of, like, you know, what's that one wrestler, like, you know, he's wearing a suit, he, like, it's WWE, is it Vince McMahon? Not Vince McMahon, but he has like this like walk. He's wearing a suit, he's about to like just go, like, you know, have a rumble in the ring. You know that guy I'm talking, he has like white hair. Steve,
No
not
idea.
Steve, not Cold Stove, but whatever it is, I was making an entrance into the pod. So welcome everybody, welcome to the show. The one
Yes,
and only
indeed.
Mr. Hustle Muscle in the building.
Facts. Before we get started, I just want to say a few things, you know, because we usually have housekeeping items. I'm like, man, let's walk it up. So we don't have the housekeeping items in the walk it episode. I'm like, yo, if you haven't already followed us on Instagram, make sure you go do that at 24/7 Hustler.
Yep.
If you haven't bought merch, make sure you go and cop some merch at hustleovereverything.co, not .com, .co, and support the show. And also just like cop some fresh gear, man. Our tees are quality, so make sure you go do that. But yo, Owen, what's going on in your life, bro? How you doing?
Everything is blessed, bro. Right now I'm feeling, have you ever drank the night before and then when you wake up the next day, you kind of have like a nasally voice? I always find this when I go drinking the night before.
Nasally.
It's so nasally, bro. It's like so nasally. Like I feel like I have to drink water. I'm very acidic. So I had a great time last night with some of my guy friends from my old where I used to work at Lita. Shout out to Yusuf hosting us over last night. You know, having a vibe. You know, seeing all the characters I used to work with. But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to pod. You know, my mom just called me. She told me, you know, she just got like the little jabby jabs. You know, so I'm like now thinking about, you know, traveling and everything. So that's like what's on my mind as well, man.
Word. Yeah, we thinking about going to Atlanta, right? So you're gonna have to get vaxxed, bro.
Yeah.
If you're trying to go, cause they ain't gonna let you on without it. You feel me? But I know. Yeah, I feel like there's some hesitation. What's the hesitation about? Talk to me. Let's discuss.
You know, the hesitation for me is just you know, you know what I was saying before. I just feel like when you're being forced to get it, or there's a lot of pressure to get it, that's what I don't like. And I just think as like my own character, I like doing things on my own will, on my own terms, and I don't like someone controlling my destiny, what I have to do. I kind of feel like I want to rebel. So that's why I'm an entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneurship is rebellion, because you're rebelling against the status quo to charter on your own path and create your own future. So I feel like by someone paving like my guidelines of how I'm supposed to live doesn't sit right with me. So I feel like that's why there's a lot of inner resistance within this whole thing.
As long as you got the card, bro. To keep it a buck with you, as long as you got the card or the certification to say that you
The
got
vaccine card,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I heard Charlamagne talk about it with on this podcast, The Brilliant Idiots. That you know, Michael Blackson was just like, "Hey, did you get waxed?" Like, I got the card. It's like, "Did you get waxed?" I got the card. You know, and that's all you really need if you trying to, you know, live life without getting the vaccination.
Show them the
But
card,
at
bro.
the same time, show them the card. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. If you're not comfortable getting it, and as Black people in North America, there has been a history of, getting shots that aren't right.
Hmm.
So we can only understand the hesitation.
For
So
people who don't know, bro, give them like a quick 2 minute historical education to what you're referring to.
well, the one that comes top of mind is the Tuskegee
Hmm.
experiment, where they shot a lot of boys up with syphilis to test what syphilis does. That's like the top of mind one. And there's other ones that come to that I don't have enough information on to like dive deep and to be like, hey, this is exactly what it was to speak, 100% equivocally
Hmm.
on it. So yeah, but that's one that comes to mind easily
Yeah.
is the Tuskegee experiment. That one is just crazy to think about. So also like there is a like my conspiracy theory mind goes crazy. Are you gonna go into conspiracy theory back stock right now?
You know I'm the guy
So
for this subject.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan on podcast, and um this I feel like no one should start a sentence like that. Yo, so you want to hear about this conspiracy? So listen to the Joe Rogan
Bro, I
podcast.
love conspiracy theories, bro. So that's why I'm pulling up closer to like my chair and everything.
Well, well, is this the Moderna? All these companies are publicly traded companies, right?
Hmm.
So they're all profiting off of this vaccination. Let's just keep it a spade a spade. So, with that in mind, it's like, is there a organic way to heal yourself from COVID, or a way of getting around it? And if there was, would they let the public even know about it?
Hmm.
That's where my mind goes. Just because, like for instance, if you're healthy, there's a strong chance that you can actually not, like beat COVID. Like there's not a lot of people that are extremely healthy getting COVID and not bouncing back. It's usually people who have asthma or just like a low immune system.
Hmm.
You know, so that's where I think, all right, if that's the case, why isn't the government pumping out like pro health content? Like, hey, eat healthy, go out,
Go to the gym.
go go to the gym, have vitamins, have a balanced diet. When I see those things, I'm like, how come these things aren't being promoted? And I feel like it's because corporate greed is still there. Like
Hmm.
the if they were to do that, then other companies would start failing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like my conspiracy theory when it comes to that of there's, but at the same time though, I'm vaccinated. I got my first dose, and I'm probably gonna get my second one because I'm trying to travel. I'm going to Atlanta.
In,
Well,
in, in
he sends about the tickets, but Atlanta next month, and then
Los Angeles.
you know Los Angeles in November. So it's like this, it is what it is. Or I don't have a way of getting a card. I don't know nobody. I don't know no plug.
Hmm.
So that's this. I guess gotta bite that bullet.
Yeah,
So
even for me, man. Like, I mean, my sister sent me some photos the other day. Well, she sent in the family chat on WhatsApp. Pretty much like this guy, he got COVID again, even after he got vaxxed. There's like some guys in the UK. So a lot of people who even got
really,
vaccinated, they're still catching corona. So we're like, okay, if you got, it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, why are you getting the vaccine? Like, even we know why you're getting the vaccine, but how can you still get Rona if you already got the vaccine, something that's supposed to protect you and arm you up from this virus? It just doesn't make sense to me.
was it the Delta variant?
I don't know.
Like that's the thing, because I hear the Delta variant doesn't even care about the vaccine. Like Delta variant is just like, man, I'm
Bro,
ready to go.
man, you know what's scary? Like, it's just gonna be more and more vaccines, man. Right? Like, there's gonna be like the Delta variant. There's the so we had the Alpha variant. What are like the different?
This is the Alpha
I'm
variant.
just
I
saying,
didn't even
when you're
heard
talking
that
about the
one.
alpha, there's the alpha, there's the beta, there's the delta, there's all these different mathematical like terms we're using
Oh,
as like to showcase what's
got
coming
you.
next for this thing. So I feel like the more variants, like every time it's there's a wave coming, right? We're
Hmm.
enjoying summer right now, but then there's a wave coming. We're predicting a huge, massive wave coming. It's as if they're forecasters like in the weather. They can tell when a
Mm.
like a wave is coming. hey, in the summer we're gonna like be chilled out and whatever, we're gonna open up everything, but let's shut it all down with the wave that's coming. This happened in Australia. They had another lockdown, bro. It's like, even though it's New Zealand, they had another lockdown. So they were open,
Yeah.
now they're back to lockdown. But the thing about here in our jurisdiction, Doug is not gonna lock us down because Doug is very capitalistic, right? He's gonna be like, man, we're open for business. Like all this shutdown stuff we're doing, it's a wrap.
It's not just the capitalistic thing. It's the healthcare system. You know what I'm saying? They can't afford for all of us to get sick. You know that because they have to provide that. That's why America can open up. Because if y'all get sick, it's on y'all.
Yeah.
But if we get sick, it's on us. You know, so that's what I think it really is. Is just the ability to afford to give everybody the right care, personally. But let's get off this, man. I'm tired of talking about the
The
panorama.
panini,
You
the
know,
Panera bread. Let's keep it rocking, bro.
oh my jeez, yeah, bro. I'm done with the panda bear, bro. So first things first, dog. Let's talk about what Facebook is doing. Heard about this $1 billion to creator move that they've made?
I've been actually been seeing Adam Rivets posting it on LinkedIn, like talking about like the fund that's coming from Facebook, but I haven't really looked deep into it. What's going on?
So simple and plain, Facebook wants to compete with YouTube and Snapchat and just get more users and honestly get the cool back because Facebook has definitely lost its cool. So they want to pay $1 billion to creators over the next year to really bring back people onto the platform, right? And honestly, I looked at it and I'm like, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough because they've let it age up. They let the platform age up to get our parents on it, our aunties on it, like some grandmas is on it, you know. So it's gonna be it's gonna be tough to have the platform open to the kids and have them just as accessible on the platform, you know. As long as people can get paid, though, I think there will be creators on it. And the challenge though is the algorithm because Facebook has two things that's blocking it. One is the cool factor, and second is the algorithm, right? So when the platform starts to monetize, it starts to constrict the algorithm to less and less people, so they have to pay to get the access. That's Facebook's like business plan, right? But so if I have a small algorithm on it, then I'm gonna go somewhere else to like TikTok where there's more algorithm that's open to more people, so I can access more people easily. So even if I'm creating on there and I get paid to get my content out, I might just take the money, put the content out, but not how much people see it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it might not be like the ROI for the platform in terms of getting users to stay on it.
Yeah.
Like maybe let's say if I'm Charlemagne and I get paid to have a show on Facebook, Charlemagne's audience is gonna come, but the net new audience that's gonna be discovered from that is gonna be a challenge because the algorithm is still small, it's still constricted. You get what I'm saying? So it's like how are they gonna balance both the algorithm and the creators trying to get more people, because the whole goal for the creators, they want to grow. It's not just about the money too. It's like the growth of it. So it's like a catch 22.
Yeah.
And Snapchat had the same problem where they were giving out $1 million a day, and so creators were just like, all right, cool, I'll take it. And so people on the platform were staying longer, but I don't know. I'm not sure if they were growing as much as they wanted to in terms of people watching the creators consistently. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's where I think Facebook got to think.
And
What do you think,
Facebook
man?
as a creator right now, man, it's so deflating. I think you can put out the best video you can ever. We've put out quality videos, right? We put out 1080p, like I won't say 4K, but like good high def videos and clips, but they never really get the light of day, right? No one really sees it. I mean, we at least have 1,500 friends on Facebook. We use our Facebook page. Even though we put our Facebook page has 2,000 likes, and a lot of that is our circle. No one gets to see the clips, so it's like pay to play. And Facebook is like a multi-million dollar organization, and like now they're in the game of profit in their life cycle. So how are you gonna balance people seeing their content and as well wanting to make a profit? Because if people are seeing there's no incentive to pay, right? So it just, I mean, are you inspired?
Well,
Are
yeah,
you
good.
inspired to
What you
create
got?
on Facebook? To be honest, bro.
If there's money, if they're giving me 100K, I'm gonna create. We listen. You gonna get this podcast popping? How you mean? You know what I'm saying? What you mean, fam?
Yeah,
Like 100K on
100
Facebook.
bags.
Listen. We Facebook fam now. We all the way friends. You want to poke? I got you. I got your poke for you. How you
Oh,
mean?
bro.
One hundred
You
percent.
throw the bag,
You
you see
know.
someone switch up like the way they're dressing, they're wearing like the merch, like yeah, Team Facebook. Woo!
Team Facebook.
Oh
Exactly.
man.
Nah, the thing is though is that I'm definitely not putting all of my eggs in Facebook's basket. You know what I'm saying? Like the creators that for Snapchat, for going back to that, they were just like, all right, cool, thanks for the bag. I'm going back to TikTok though and YouTube. You know, it's like Facebook really got to figure out its video algorithm because now they're a video platform, right? The person running Facebook and running Instagram predominantly, pardon me, the person running Instagram stated that Instagram is no longer a photo platform but a video platform. I talked about it a few pods ago, but yeah. So now they really got to figure out how to share video in an effective way that's competing with TikTok,
And still
and even with the
and still
reels.
stay
Go
within
ahead.
the elements of what makes Instagram Instagram. Because not everyone's a creator like
Yeah.
us, and not everybody, like you have the girls want to showcase their cute photos from the wineries, the cottages, whatever. They're still gonna keep those people and make the platform designed that it doesn't like it's like a drastic change in customer behavior, but still integrate video within the platform. So it's actually video first to inspire those girls to use the video aspect of it, but still keeping Instagram because not everyone's gonna switch immediately. It's like a slow progression. You get me?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. You know what's crazy too is that TikTok, more kids are joining TikTok than YouTube as well, right? Because TikTok is so easy to maneuver, right? So even YouTube's like they've switched their explore button on the mobile app now. So like everyone's trying to compete with TikTok. TikTok is like, running through the social media platforms and making everybody try to step up their game.
It's a
But yeah,
copycat
man,
game, man. It's a copycat game.
facts,
Can't believe they're trying to
facts.
ban the app, bro. Like they're like TikTok is banned from America. Like Americans are trying to ban it. They're trying to get Trump was. I'm so happy that didn't go through.
Why?
I mean, like we need new platforms. We need new fresh stuff. And I don't know for a fact if like it was a spy tool for like China or whatever. Like that there was like that whole rumor
It,
mill going around.
it definitely, I 100% believe it was, because China, I think, is the country or the kind of government that would want to spy on the U.S. They're coming for greatness. They're buying up all the countries that ship to U.S. like Jamaica. They're buying up all the roads and the transportation to the U.S. So it's like I believe it. I believe that China would definitely do that. If you start a company in China, they're gonna want to know your algorithm, or they're gonna take your algorithm. One of the two.
They take that by force.
Exactly. But even like Jack Ma, right? He went missing for like 3 months, and he's one of the biggest entrepreneurs in
Ever.
China. You
Yeah.
know, ever? I don't know about that.
Bro,
Well, ever in
ever
China,
in
maybe.
China. Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, he built like
Yeah.
a company that's like as big as Google, you
Yeah.
know?
That's a
Yeah,
fact. That's
so
a fact.
he is that guy. He's like one of the greatest entrepreneurs like in his time in China. In
Yeah. So
modern
who do you think is
times.
bigger, him or Jeff Bezos?
Uh
And if you think about it, like if Jeff Bezos, sorry to cut you off, if Jeff Bezos went missing, like that would be a huge news story.
but bro,
You know what
you
I'm
have to look
saying?
at it if Jack Ma goes missing and Jeff Bezos looks missing. You know what's the difference here? It's cultural um affinity, right? With Chinese people, from my observation, they stay in line, right? They stay in line. Like they know like hush hush. Americans, we don't know hush hush because we're so liberated and we're so free. because of the way we live and the way we've come up. So with Jeff being Jeff and what Jeff represents as the American dream, like there's no one else who has accomplished the American dream other than Jeff Bezos. Like the guy grew up regular family. Of course, he went to like Ivy League. Did his 9 to 5 grind on Wall Street. Quit his job, started Amazon in a garage. Now it's like this behemoth of a company, and he's going to space. Like that is the American dream, and everybody wants to protect that. But with China, you're living for the state, you're living for the country, you're living for the community. As much as you're contributing to whatever, it still has to fit in within the fabric of what China wants China to be. So if something happens, no one's gonna rebel and be like, "Oh my God, where's Jack Ma? Where's Jack Ma?" People will question, but no one is really gonna put up a fight to like tweet about or whatever. Like, they'll make noise, but it's not as big as Americans would do it if Jeff Bezos were to go missing.
Nah, I definitely think that there's like a fear that's instilled in people when they get that news. Like, oh, yo, Jack Ma's missing. Like, if Jack, like, I feel like even in a communist country like that, they're still gonna be like, whoa, that really happened. Like, that I think that was still, make that like a chill go down their spine and make them feel like they're scared like the government's coming to get them. But even going back to Jeff Bezos, bro, like Jeff Bezos got his parents to invest in his company like from almost 250K in 1995. Yeah, like he's not.
So he's not rags to. He's not. Of course, he's not rags to riches.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say he is a rags to riches type of guy, but in terms of like living the middle class lifestyle and making it, which a lot of Americans, let's say, I don't know what the percentage is, but if you look at just like the regular whatever, they live middle class, they have parents who are working, it's like a nice suburban home. He just went for it. And of course his parents helped him out, but that is the American dream, bro. Right? To kind of leave okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Is the American dream coming from, let's say, an immigrant family? Like you come from Jamaica, you come from, let's say, Kenya, where I'm from. You come to this country with nothing in your pocket. You start a business and you make it within like the land of milk and honey. Is that what's considered the American dream? Or is the American dream legit making something out of yourself no matter what circumstances you came from? What is the difference here?
That's what's sold to us. That's for sure.
But what do you think? What do you think is the American dream? Is it like the bootstraps from immigrant life to making it, or you can make it as a middle class guy?
I think it's both. I think it's people giving their kids the tools, the 250, the $1 million investment, whatever, to get them to start their own thing and then build up to be a big company. And then they're living their own American dream. But what's sold to the world is land of milk and honey, where they can, create their own business and their own success. Join a big company and provide for their families and send money back home so their parents can eat, as well. I think there's like a threefold American dream. One, like you're the Caucasian, the Caucasian dream, where they pass down generational wealth to their kids, and they profit from it and build something bigger. Then there's the immigrant one, where immigrants are entrepreneur, where they come build something from the ground up, and then see their success in the land of milk and honey. And the next one is come and get a nice job. He's an engineer. My son is a doctor.
He's got his masters.
He got his master. Exactly. Or it's like you got far on.
Yeah.
And again send money back. Send a barrel back to Jamaica.
You go to Western Union, bro. You swing some cha-ching back.
Exactly. So that's the move I think people look at when it comes to the American dream. Yeah, did I miss anything?
No, you didn't miss anything, man. I just think we always glamorize the self-made guy or woman, right? What is really being self-made? Truthfully, there's nothing being a self-made. And even when you look at Forbes now, Forbes billionaires list, there's a self-made score, because a lot of these billionaires, a lot of them are inherited billionaires. Steve Jobs' wife is like a billionaire. So many families are like billionaires because this is old money we're talking about here, like industrialist families of like the the so yeah, I mean, you have the Rockefellers, but like people who came from like that era and they started businesses from that time, their kids and their lineages are billionaires because of that. Like think about the Mars family. They make the
Yeah, for sure.
chocolates, Skittles, whatever. Now their family's rich, but you'll never see them in the public eye because they stay low key,
Never,
right? So then you have like the
never.
small group which are billionaires, which is like the Oprahs, the Mark Cubans, and all the Michael Dell Computers. Their self-made score is like at a 9 out of 10 because they actually came from average circumstances and they made themselves into billionaires.
Speaking of which, like, and having your last name there, and I love that the quote, the hustle for your last name. Right now everyone's focused on their personal brand, right? For focus on their personal brand, showing their dances, the TikToks to showcase their brand, and really, showing their personal self as a way of selling their brand. Honestly, I want to get your opinion on this because I'm like, man, I ain't never gone to the grocery store and looked at anything I'm about to eat to buy and think, man, I love their personal brand. I want to go support this personal brand and buy their food. It's always a product market fit. It's never like, yo, I just love this personal brand. If I'm buying a Mars bar, it's like, yo, I love a Mars bar. It's not, I want this personal brand. I don't know nothing about the Mars family.
Yeah.
It's actually just, this is under the price I want to buy. So it feels like a good trade. So I'm buying it. And I'm listening to everyone on Instagram and like, yo, you gotta focus on your personal brand. And I'm like, man, I kind of think that's bullshit, bro. Because like, it's rare that I'm actually buying something just because I like the person. It's because it's a product market fit for what I need.
All right, so let me challenge you on that, bro. Okay, you're saying you're buying a personal brand, but when we're buying a personal brand, what are we buying into in that person?
Their like, relatability, their personality. That's what I'm talking about. Their personality, their relatability. The like if they're black or not. You know,
So
things like that.
your problem with it, just so I can get the facts right, is you think people are working on a personal brand to like fit everybody.
Nah, it's like I'm gonna sell this product based off of my personal brand of you liking me, you know, but not actually the product market fit.
So
You get what I'm
so
saying?
so what I'm hearing is that you're saying, okay, let's say Owen is a personal brand and there is, let's say this mouse here, it's a Logitech mouse. Let's say my
Yeah.
brand is talking about sports all day, like, talking about Jordan, LeBron. I'm talking sports. I have a sports show talk host, and then there's a Logitech mouse. So you're saying, knowing my personal brand and knowing my audience, you're finding a lot of people who have quote unquote personal brands take on opportunities as a Logitech, which there's no synergy within their personal brand or whatever they talk about. And
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
what's grinding your gears.
Yeah, it's like, you're a photographer, or you're not going for photography. You're selling shea butter. You know what I'm saying? And you're selling shea butter for $50 for a 10-gram tin, and they're like, "Yo, I'm gonna make this for my personal brand." And I'm like, "Bro, it's way too expensive. It's not a product market fit." But it's like, yo, I'm just gonna wrap it around my personal brand and sell it that way. And I think no one's talking about the fact that your personal brand ain't gonna matter if it's not a product market fit. Because I'm gonna go to checkout and be like, it's $50 for a tip. What? What's going on here? You feel me? And no one's gonna purchase based on that. And if they do purchase, it's to support you. But no one's really like saying, yo, I'm gonna actually commit to this without knowing like the actual exchange happening.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not getting the quality for my money. You get what I'm saying?
I'm slowly getting you, bro, to be honest.
Like and there's cases where it's different. Like I have a huge fan base of 9 million people. I'm James Charles, so my makeup can be 10 times the price, and there's gonna be of the 9 million people, 1% is gonna buy that, so I'm gonna have a profitable business. I'm not saying that, but like for the everyday person living now, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a personal brand that's and not consider product market fit. We just focus on my personal brand around the product, and then have a profitable business. And I'm like, I feel like someone's spitting lies. I'm feeling like I'm getting lied
I
to.
hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I feel like now we have too many personal brands, bro. I feel like everybody's trying to be a personal brand, and as much as I like empowering people to do it, I just feel like not everyone's made to have a personal brand, right? And I think we need to be honest about that.
It's not just about like not having personal brand, but it's like this just considering like the product market fit. You know, like are you gonna if you're gonna sell bread and it's gonna be $20 for that pack of bread, why am I buying that? Because I like your personality. What?
Bro, when
You
you
get
put
me?
it like that, it finally hit me. I get you now. I get you. I get you.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that so and it's not just like if it's quality bread, if it's milled in Italy and shipped over on a private jet to that, it's a different
Yeah.
story. You get what I'm saying? Because then it's a quality that you're trading off. But like I see this happening so much, and I'm like, is no one telling these people that like there's not a product market fit at
It
all?
doesn't. No one's
You
telling
know?
them, bro. I think we're all in our own heads, man. I think we feel like we can sell anything and we can, you know, personality and people being fans of us can trump them actually opening up their wallet and actually providing that, you know, that's your personal brand is not a driver of success. It's not like a driver of actually generating revenue. There's a certain point like where you actually become like a huge, like you can move product because of your personality. Let's say you're Serena Williams. Serena can put out like a shirt, whatever, like a makeup line. She can put out a line of heels. She can put out whatever she can put her hands on. She can move units, but if you're not at that level and you're trying to do something like where your personality is like this, but then the pricing is whatever, no one is really gonna be like, oh, yo, like that personality is so amazing. I'm gonna buy that just because I rate them that much when it might not even be like a really solid fit for them. So no, man, I get it. I get it. There's some people who need to like know where their lane is at. Some people like the Serena Williamses, you can move product. It just depends how
Yeah.
you look at yourself and where the market is gonna decide if they want to buy that from you. I think that's the corrector is the market. The market will decide
Always.
where you land in the spectrum of being able to move product with a personal brand.
Facts. I feel like Kanye would completely disagree with me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And be like, shut the hell up, dog. Like, you know. We, actually, matter of fact, speaking of Kanye, you got a chance to look at his
Donda?
Donda
I
release.
haven't yet, bro. Don't tell like I mean tell me, but don't really go into the details. How's it so far?
I haven't seen anything actually. Um I haven't seen much go on with the Yeezy Gap. I haven't really seen like he's been finessing all of us, you know,
Bro, I think it's the
with what it
divorce.
feels like. Pardon me?
I think it's the divorce, man.
What do you mean?
Him and Kim are getting
How?
divorced.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, that can take a lot of your mental energy and you won't be able to really, really be out here if you're going through a divorce.
Oh, for sure. There's this one line that was that he said. He's like, "I'm losing my family," you know, like over and over and over. And I was like, "Damn, yeah, that sounds crazy." Like this losing your family, bro. Like,
Tragic, bro.
yeah,
So what happens when you're a star, man.
but
I'm a motherfucking star boy. Uh, 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 Is this what you want?
word. But speaking of stars, man, Charlemagne just got a new show. You heard about that?
When did this news come out?
Like yesterday. or the day before yesterday.
No, I haven't heard.
Charlemagne the God has a new show on Comedy Central called what's it called? I don't even remember the name of it. Hold up, let me pull up the name real quick. The name is.
How's the podcast network thing he started?
That's a great question, man. I
I
have
haven't
no
heard.
idea. How do you even
I
measure
haven't even
that?
seen anything yet.
Well, I think they're gonna have to do like a 1 year review type of thing. That's probably how they're gonna play
Mm-hmm.
it. You know, I think it's called The God Honest Truth or something like that. Hold on.
Man, Charlemagne has come such a long way, bro. Like it's crazy. Remember,
Facts.
like we used to watch him on the Breakfast Club. He would like want to smell. I don't know whose fart. Like that one woman who came with
Yeah, the
the
chair.
chair. Not gonna lie, bro. When I was a kid, bro,
Facts.
like whenever guests left, I used to like smell the chair. It's crazy. It's
What?
crazy, bro.
Well, how would you do? Why'd you do that?
My brother was telling me it's just like it's like you kind of get a feel of the person. So I thought that was like, when we're younger, we're doing that. But then I watched one time an episode of My Wife and Kids, and Michael Kyle, like he said the same story, and I just felt so vindicated, bro, because I felt like all these years, I was like, man, that's such a weird thing to do. But to watch that show and someone talk about it and smell a chair, then I heard Charlemagne talk about it. That's when I realized that there's so much crazy, weird little things we all do where we feel like we're the only ones who do it. But then you go on Twitter, someone tweets the same thing you did back when you're a kid, and you all find out you're living the same life.
So what was the process like when someone would leave and you'd smell their seat,
Yeah.
right? And it would either smell good or smell like shit.
It
I
never
lie.
smelled like shit. It always smelled like perfume or something like that. So these would be like
Oh, this is for when girls leave. We're talking about girls specifically.
girls, like my mom's friends. This is like when I was like 5 years old, bro. I'm like a little kid. My mom is
Yo,
having
if your
teas
auntie
and
caught you,
biscuits, and they're all there like being women. So I'm intrigued, right? I'm like, wow, look at all these lovely women in my house. Who are they? Right? I'm like a young boy, bro. I'm like learning about the world. So they're done, they're doing their my mom and them, they're gossiping and talking about their like womanly stuff. So they're all like, okay, bye, 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 whatever, whatever, right? And then there's a small
mm,
window you have to do this in, bro. Like, you have to be quick. You got to be stealth because you just want to get a feel of the person. You just, they dip, you
right.
smell, you're like, oh, okay, this is the type of, like, you know, they have a good scent, they have a perfume. You honestly don't know why you do it, but it's just you want to know, who is this person? That's what I remember doing it for. Like now when I reflect back, I can't really tell you why I did it, but as a little kid, it was just like a fun thing to do. Is like just smell the chair when they cut. I know like it's messed, but
Dog, that is hilarious to me
yeah.
personally, dog.
But so when I heard Charlemagne do that, I was like, word.
I
I
relate to him.
relate to him. I was like, yes, I'm not that weird.
Yeah.
You get me? So it's so fun just to hear people like him be so honest about stuff they did when they're younger, and you find that you relate to it. It's beautiful, bro. It's beautiful.
Word. Charlemagne is really becoming one of the like moguls of the modern like generation.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Steve Harvey had a run where he still is like, creating $100 million empire, like hundreds of millions. Now Charlemagne's there, like the deal with Amazon,
Hmm.
book publishing, Brilliant Idiots, Breakfast Club, Black Effect.
He wrote a book
Yo,
too, Black Privilege.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he has a book publishing company as well. You know what I'm saying? So he partnered with a book publishing company, and he has Tamika Mallory's book and another book that just came out. So I'm like, yo, he's snapping out here. So I think like eventually, like the next 10 years, Charlamagne like is gonna have to be considered as one of like the top entrepreneurs, the top black entrepreneurs of like our generation,
Mhm.
bro. Like when you think about it, like, and that brings me to the question that I want to ask you and bring up. Like, who do you think is some of the top black entrepreneurs of our generation right now?
Our generation. is let's say 1985 and up.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Top black entrepreneurs of our generation.
Yeah. Actually, should we go above a generation above us? I feel like we're not even there to actually
Yeah, I
judge yet.
think we're still young
Like
guys.
under 30 is like is yeah. Well, maybe under 35 is still a bit young. So let's say over people around 40. You
1970.
know the Diddy's. Yeah, the Diddy's, Jay Z's. You know, Master P's. It must be might be a little bit older, but
But bro, just
who you
off the
think reigns
rip.
supreme?
So let's go through entertainment first.
Top
Top
five.
five,
Top
bro.
five. Top five. Top five.
Yo, Dame Dash. I gotta give him his props.
Okay.
Dame Dash, Damon John, Fubu, huge like Mr. Shark Tank. Diddy, you can't. Diddy, Dr. Dre beats, right? Um,
So is that four? You said Diddy,
Diddy,
Dr. Dre,
Dr. Dre,
Damon John.
Damon John,
So that's three. What
Dame
was the other one?
Dash,
Dame Dash four.
uh, excuse the noise outside of the cars, guys. Uh, Russell Simmons,
Really, Russell?
bro. Yeah, he started Def Jam, bro. Are you talking about like his sexual stuff? Like, is that why? Like,
Well, not just that, but like I think. Well, actually, I don't know. Firstly, I don't think he's in that generation anymore. You know, for one, and because he's generation above them, I'd say, and I think they've eclipsed him. I think Diddy's definitely eclipsed Russell Simmons.
but you know,
You
okay,
know,
so maybe I'm like giving him respect just because he's OG and he kind of laid the foundation for a lot of these guys. But like the black entrepreneurs who started BT, like the husband and wife, right? Got to give them their flowers.
Bob, I forget his name. The founder of BET. What's his name? Founder. Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Yeah. And Sheila Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, man, those are like black
That's top
entrepreneurs.
five.
Black entrepreneurs we're covering now like just cultural effect and also business excellence. Right? That's how I'm looking. But then there's another category where people don't fall within that entertainment or cultural space. They're great entrepreneurs, they're great black entrepreneurs who've built amazing businesses, but they might not have the clout and the chase of the Diddy's, the Russells, the Jay-Z's, the Damon Dashes, Damon John, but they've still built billion dollar organizations. What's the other one? The one who works in media, Byron Allen, right? Byron Allen
Yeah, facts.
has built so many. He's built a media conglomerate, but he's in the background doing his thing. Then we go into sports, where there's a lot of sports entrepreneurs like Vinny Johnson. Yo, you know Vinny Johnson? You know, the
No,
microwave.
who's that?
He played for the Pistons. He was like a sixth man. They call him the microwave because he'd just come off the bench and he would like light it up real quick. He'll just get hot. So off the bench, boom. So once he retired from playing in the NBA, he started his own. It's an auto company like detailing, oil and etc. And he's worth 500 million.
Really?
Yeah, even um, uh, Julian
Piston.
Bridgman, right? Ulysses
I have no
Bridgman.
idea who this is.
He's also close to being a billionaire, and he played in the NBA as like a sixth man, and he owns the most Wendy's franchises in America, in the world actually.
Yeah, he told me
Yeah.
about this one. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. So and then he sold half of them to Coca-Cola. So
Damn, he cashed
he
out.
cashed out. So he's multi-million dollar. He made way more money being a business owner, and he saved his salary from playing basketball, and he started just buying franchise after franchise in his like late 20s. Now he's in his 60s. He had over like 200 franchises. in the off season, he used to work in Wendy's as like a server, like just like inside the store to learn the business. So you come in, you order your food, you're seeing
Wow.
a guy who's like 6'9", right? And you're like, what the hell are you
Give you your
doing at a
food, and he's like,
Wendy's?
"What the hell's going?" Word. And he asked me, "Yo, do you play basketball?" And he's like, "A
A
little
little
bit."
bit. I'm at the
So
YMCA.
the
I'm
thing
at,
in
I'm at the
there,
YMCA after work, right? Like that's a probably
you
I
know what I'm
play in the
saying?
men's league type of thing. But bro, man is actually
Yeah,
like a pro ball player. So there's the class of those black entrepreneurs that they fly so under the radar, but they make a lot of the products and services that we use today. And there's a new age entrepreneur now, like who are like actually shifting culture, who use products we use every day, like Tope from Calendly. Like guys, like the founder of Calendly, the app that you use every day to book meetings at work, is founded by a Nigerian guy, a Nigerian American guy. Nobody knows about this. So I think what we
facts.
need to do, bro, I think we need to change the narrative and the culture that black excellence, black entrepreneurship, it just cannot exist as a residue of being successful in music and athletics, that you can actually make it happen as a regular, mere mortal black person just living in life.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And Cali's probably one of the only examples of a black entrepreneurship brand that's not entertainment based at
Hmm.
all, and not leverage off of entertainment
Yeah.
either. You know, like the other ones we just mentioned, like they're NBA players who leverage their entertainment to go into
Hmm.
entrepreneurship. But Tope is one of the only people that we see that, even Byron Allen, he was a comedian at first and leveraged his comedy into becoming a media mogul, you know. But yeah, I think Tope is one of the only like tech people that did it. And I think as well is even if you look at like Bevel, like it's a culture based product, right? It's around. It started off. I think they've kind of grown out of it now into more of like a CPG, Old Spice competitor now.
Hmm.
But like before, they were like strictly based off culture, right? Off like the black male
Yeah.
experience. But now, like it's interesting. It's almost like you know not even almost like is they've created like a product that's just a product market
Hmm.
fit that serves its purpose, and you don't need to know that it's black owned to be an amazing product. And I think that's amazing because what I think happens a lot of times too, and I'm sometimes guilty of this, is thinking that to have a successful black business needs to be for us, you know, and that's not necessarily true. That we can have a successful makeup company,
Hmm.
like a black man can start a successful makeup company that only white women in middle America use,
Hmm. Hmm.
and have that as a successful business that nobody knows about. If you want to talk about it, you can, or trucking, or something along those lines where we have a complete product market fit, and we go about our business. Simple as that,
Yeah.
you know. So
I just think, man, it's
yeah.
just education. It's I've thought about this so many times. Like I was like looking, okay, how could the black community move forward and not and want to actually create businesses and build it. And I can't say we're not doing anything. We're what I'm trying to say is like we're not doing anything. Like we're doing it. We're building. We're getting on. I just think it's in the race compared to like other communities. Like we're like just way behind the race and we're catching up. I think there's like an educational curve. It's us, as we always say, man, whenever that time comes, we have our families and etc. It's getting them started early and building and actually thinking as an entrepreneur. It's like, hey, think business first, think math and science first. Don't think of sports, going to the NBA or playing football or being in music. I mean, if you're about that, go ahead. But I think we just need to change that aspect of what black entrepreneurship looks. And if you want to get a sense of that, go check out our playlist that we did earlier this year in collaboration with Bel Air. We did a playlist called Rapper Go to the League, and we showcased great black entrepreneurs who have never played sports and they succeeded in what they did. My favorite one was Carl Edwin. He is just a regular black man from Montreal, family man, and he owns one of the largest video game company, like esports companies in Canada. You get me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Has deals with Sony.
deals with Sony. He has a lot going on for himself, and that is what success to me is, man. That is what success, like, I really respect his come up more than if you were to compare with Jay-Z and all these sports guys, just because of where I'm at right now. I can relate to Carl way more because of uh his circumstances. I can look at it from I can't really relate to Diddy. I can't relate to Jay-Z because that is like one out of 2,000 rappers who try to do it. So I think that's what we need to do more, is change the face of entrepreneurship. Like, how are we going to get more great black entrepreneurs to build businesses? How are we going to teach the kids to think differently in the way they approach their lives? And how do we get them to see problems? How do we get them to be more curious, to think of becoming problem fixers and creating solutions to stuff that we see in daily life? We need to change that from being consumers to being producers, and that starts from teaching them early about math, science, investing, and etc.
Facts. Man, yo, so I heard this crazy conspiracy theory I wanted to talk to you about that, and why we get strayed away from it is because a lot of times because of the media we consume, right? And I think I told you a little bit about it, how the rap industry, the owners of it, invest in private prisons,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the notion is that, hey, if we invest in private prisons and all the rap music is about gangster shit, then we can profit off it. And don't get me wrong, like, we're not trying to condemn gangster rap music. We both love gangster rap music. You know what I'm saying? I know, like
You love feeling like a hood man for like a half hour of your day, right? Like, you know, like, you know, you got your bandana on in the crib, you know, like you're just cheesed because you're about to go pop something.
You say your bandana on in the crib, bro. Please don't tell me you do that.
No, I'm not saying I do that, but just to give the image of like, like, let me get in my element.
You mentally have
you got a white beater on. You're just moving around, bro. You're sagging extra deep because you're about, you know, like, so you're pretending you're carrying, like, the Glock is, like, you know, cocked between your, like, it's right in your pants, bro. You're gonna just pull it out. So that music has its moments where you feel like you're that type of guy. But give me this conspiracy, man. What is it?
What I find interesting is that, like, it's a consistent curve of, like, rappers who don't talk about that, and it goes right back into hood shit every time. And I'm like, why does it always swing back? And I think one, because America is built on money and violence, so we you know, put ourselves, like, into those two categories, money and violence gets respected. And of course, like, it plays into, like, the trope of wanting to be a violent black guy. Like, I feel like that has now become the cool shit. But there's guys who look at that and think that's real, but in actuality, like, it's wrestling. Like, you know, white boys want to be wrestlers, but they ain't gonna wrestle nobody besides, like, they cousins in their room when they having play dates.
Yeah,
you feel me? So, but there's people out there who look at it and then think that's real life, you know. And I think that's, like, what they want to happen, you know, because that happened to me. Like, there's times where I was like, as a kid, I was like, yo, I want to be hard. I want to be a blood like the game and shit, you know, like, thinking that was what's cool, and, like, going to jail would make me harder or something like that. Like, I used to think that was somewhat cool until, like, I grew up and realized how dumb that shit was,
bro.
You know, so.
And even just to add on to that, I think it's also influenced a lot of people. When people see a black guy, they immediately switch into this feeling of, like, I gotta, like, act cool, like hip hop. I gotta, like, what up, my guy? What up, brother? You know, like, they
what up, brother? Oh my god, yo, can we talk about that? Why people love brother? Bro. Hard R on the brother every time. What's going on,
What's going on,
brother?
brother,
How you
bro?
doing,
And then
brother?
now you hear like Mandem actually say brother like like the way they say, brother. I was
Mm-hmm.
like in school, like my boy Ben, shout out to Ben, like we're Ryerson, man, just like whatever. And this is the first time I had it. So when you're in Ryerson, you're in the Ted Rogers building, we're going up the elevators, and then he pulls up, it's like, yo, oh no, no, hold up, hold up, hold up. He's like, hey, how's it going, brother? And I kind of was like caught off. Yo, and Ben is like straight Eritrean man, like it just sounded so weird. So I was like,
Yeah.
I kind of let it go, but I was walking in class. I'm like, Rod, did this guy just eat army on the brother? I was like, wow, wow, right? So I just heard it more and more, and then we of course know our barber, like like
Yeah.
he always says, "Hey brother, like how's it going? Oh yeah, just have a seat right there. Have a seat, brother." You know,
Yeah. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Listen, so white guys, that are podcast listeners, just hit us with bro. Keep it
keep it
with
with
bro.
bro, man.
Bro's cool.
Keep it with
Cool.
bro.
Yo, the hard R on the brother. Let's put that to bed. You know what I'm saying? Leave it
Rest that,
outside.
tuck that
Don't
in.
bring it inside.
Yeah. But yo, back what I was gonna
Facts,
say,
man.
man, is like white people actually influence like young black kids to like actually think hip hop because that's what they see as cool and what's popping outside. So you as like a young kid, you're actually influenced. Oh, like this is the way they want me to act. This is the way I feel accepted. When I grew up in Sarnia, man, I moved there because my dad got a job in the city, predominantly white town, and I'm coming into school as like one of the only few black kids. There was this other guy, Brandon Davis, like my guy, like hope he's doing well. People were actually like comes like, oh, like man, you don't act like like the hip hop like black guy. You don't talk like in a certain way. So that's how I felt like, man, for me to be making friends, it's like they want me to like look like the stereotypical black guy they see on TV because that's what they think black people are. So now you have all these black boys pulling up like in life thinking to gain acceptance and to be cool, I have to put on this act of I'm hard. I sag my jeans. I do all this stuff like that image of like what a cool black guy does. And if you're not cool,
Hmm.
and of course we get it. Oh, and you talk pretty white for a black guy because you talk like you've gotten it too, bro. Like because we can't we it's not right for a black person to have great grammar.
Where yo, I'll never forget. You know who kills us? Kills the most sometimes, bro. There's a small percentage of black women. Honestly, specifically, a small percentage
Small
of black,
percentage.
small percentage of black women who do this as well. I'll never forget as a kid, bro. I was at, early to soccer practice, and I bumped into some girls, and I'm like, yo, who plays here usually? And I'm like, oh, it's my guys predominantly, and they were like, predominantly.
Oh,
Oh, he
bro.
got
Oh my
words.
God. God.
Predominantly, and I was like, predominantly that's what did it for you. That's what made your mind like think that like I have a big vocabulary.
That
You know
is
what I'm saying? Like
embarrassing.
I was like,
Man, I said perhaps.
really?
I said perhaps, and they're like, oh, perhaps we can do that. Right? Like, bro.
Nah, but you know what it is though? That's slang though. I think perhaps. Okay, go ahead, go
So I
ahead,
said
go
it.
ahead.
I was
She's
like,
gonna
yeah,
say.
like I think that sounds like a great idea. Perhaps we can like do this, whatever. It was like I'm using as a bridging word, and
Mm-hmm.
it was so the way I put my sentences together, it just sounded like very well articulated, and they kind of like teased me about it. Oh, perhaps look at you, like Mr. Fancy Smancy, like, and I'm sitting there like, it's not that big of a word. You can use it in your essays, right? Because that's what you use like as a filler word to fill up your word count. But since I used it in actual
Yeah.
conversation, it was like caught off guard, and that's when I was told I speak proper. Like, you speak so well for a black guy, man.
Yeah,
Bro,
man.
it hurts to know that that's how like its perception is. As a black person, you speak correct English, or you speak with the right grammar. You don't use slang. It's not a part of you. You
Yeah.
can't have that.
Word, bro. Yeah, man. and that gets spread across different. Once we believe it, other people believe
Hmm.
it. You know what I'm saying? The way you treat your house is the way other people treat your house. You know, and I was like, damn. I saw other people doing that too. That's what gets me. Like when the Filipino people do that and brown people do that, and it's like,
Man, it hurts the
this is
most
becoming,
when it's like other
yeah,
minorities telling you that, because we're like, man, you're supposed to be on our side. We're supposed to stick together. You know, Filipinos are like black people, like the Asian black people. Indian man, you know,
I don't like that. I hate that. I hate
you
that
hate that
phrase.
phrase? Okay.
Filipinos are the
It doesn't,
Asian.
they're very,
You know how
they're cultured. That's it.
they're cultured. So then Thai people ain't
Thai
cultured.
people are cultured, but if you look at black culture, it's very in it's very symbiotic with Filipino culture in the way they have gatherings, the way they like the food, the way they like basketball. They like we have similar taste in music, sports. Um, Within Asian people, they're looked at as the lowest of. I don't want to put this on Filipino people. Like I'm just saying perception wise. No disrespect to all my Filipino buddies, but that's the way they're looked at. So I feel like we kind of find
Yeah,
that as common ground.
exactly. And I'm like, all right, so Filipinos are looked at as the black people of Asia, as in the. It's basically saying that black people are the lower caste system of I don't know, America.
Man, it is. It
You know what I'm
is
saying?
because even Filipino people, who are they when if you go into any home, they're the nannies, they're the help. You know, so they've always been like that. It's always been like that. They've always been seen as the help. If you look at black culture, like historically, we've always been the help too. If you grew up in those like homes, like the help was always like a black woman. That's why even Skip Bayless one time when during like when the whole George Floyd and all the shootings happened, Skip was talking about how he was raised by a black woman because his parents were never home. He was with this woman who was black who raised him as the help, and they still keep in touch these days. You know, Skip's made it. He's a multimillionaire as a talk show host. He helps her. He sends her money, right? She taught him a lot. So a lot of all these white people and all these people coming up, they were raised by black women. They were
Of
the
course.
mothers.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the thing with Filipinos, like they're looking for opportunity. They come to America, they become nannies, and they get ingratiated into American culture because that's one of the ways to come to the country. If you don't have the skills like in being a doctor or your immigration application isn't on point, that's the best way to do it.
Got you. Got you. Got you. I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. This sometimes this rubs me the wrong way. It's like, man, all right, so who's the black people of black people? You know, like I don't even know. Is it Nigerians then? Because they get called scammers all the time. Like,
Yeah, it's
what's
so unfair for
I,
Nigerians, man. Like that's such a bad, you know, to be known as a Nigerian scammer. It's so, and I've
it's
never been
trash.
scammed by a Nigerian guy. I love my people.
Word. Shout out to Nigeria, fam.
Facts, be
Shout out to all the Igbo boys.
all there's the Igbo. I'll be thinking more, but I don't know all like the little sects. But shout out to Nigerian folks, man. I appreciate you.
Facts. 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 But yo, man, let's wrap it up, man. What we got on the pipelines coming up?
Well, I mean, just to share with the audience, we're growing the podcast. We have, and this is one we've never changed it, but one of our mottos is celebrating the journey to success, and we've been celebrating. We had a break, guys. Alex and we had a great conversation earlier this week, and we're talking about how we can grow the podcast. We can also share we can be open here, bro. There was a moment in the past month where we lacked inspiration. I felt frustrated. There was like an internal convolution going within me of why am I feeling as if like, man, I love doing this podcast. I love creating content. I love building the business. Like, why are we not reaching out to advertisers? I found like my flame was burning, but I needed more gas in it. And that was like a natural big indicator. We need to actually sit down and have a truthful, honest conversation of where we're at. And we came up with a lot of ideas of what some things we're going to try, some new concepts, how we're going to arrange our content moving forward, the type of guests we're going to have, the synergy the show's going to have quarterly, so you know what type of content you're getting consistently, which makes it easy for us to book guests. Just a lot of things, man. And I felt waking up the next day, I was so much happier because I feel like we needed to really refresh some things and have conversations. And one other thing, guys, like the newsletter, if you are a listener of the show and you are a fan of the underrated, we're going to take a pause on that for the next little bit. Our main focus is going to be growing the Hustle Over Everything brand as a media company. So far, it's a podcast, but we believe by putting all our energy and focus into this one thing, we can create other ideas and other things that will generate us money, will get us our audience, and get it to be a great brand that empowers entrepreneurship. So yeah, man, I feel that's why one thing I felt happier about this week is I can actually think about how to grow Hustle Over Everything, and that's what I think about. I finding doing underrated and Hustle Over Everything, I was feeling like a failure because I wasn't really putting in as 100% into the underrated because I'll do the newsletter, and then I gotta find ways to promote it. Then I gotta be on Adobe making content for the clips and reaching out to advertisers and thinking about that with a full-time job too, with other stuff with life that comes with it, man. So that was my side of things, bro. I'd love to hear how you felt about it and, moving forward.
No, you hit everything on the head, really. I ain't got much to add on to that. It's just like focusing in more. And one thing I'm just trying to get down pat is the workflow of like going from podcast that's recorded both audio and visually to both YouTube and all podcast platforms. It sounds simple in theory, but it is much harder to do in actuality that grows. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like putting it out there to put it out there, it's like, all right, let's do this in a strategic manner so it continuously grows. So that's kind of where I've been, really trying to dial in more on. So if you're not already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. Like and subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate all the support. So yeah, that's kind of like what I'm doing. But everything you said is hitting on the head. Just finding a way to dial in more on the content, because we were looking back and like, we interview one person one week that's like in e-commerce, another week it's somebody that's
real estate
in real estate, or another person that's like a freestyle rapper. I don't know, like, or a photographer. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a big
lack of cohesion,
variety. Yeah, lack of cohesion between guests. So I'm like, all right, we want you to come back every single week to come and get value and to learn about how to better your business and better yourself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So
and it's crazy to think. Sorry, bro. I was gonna say it's crazy to think. I mean, we were killing it, but like when we actually stopped to let's actually do an evaluation, and you realize, man, we're kind of all over the place here. And as we're putting out content, we're like, man, we're doing it, we're killing it, or whatever. But you realize that, and I think that just comes with growth. Like when you're actually doing something over and over, the frustration is actually gonna open small windows you need to like go through, and then you look back from from bird's eye view and like, whoa, like this isn't right. This needs to be more organized. And even though we're organized with like our structure, now it's like taking that next step, which is gonna now open the windows to the third step, where the second step now is gonna look as if like, man, that was like year 2 type of stuff. Let's go to year 3. And before we know it, like, and that's how you become a master of the game. It comes from experience. And we also saw people we look up to who are doing so well. And we also had a perspective, like these guys are like 40, 30. They've done so much in their lives that gives them that edge to bring their experience where they can do something and they can rise to the top. But it didn't happen overnight. It happened from years of doing so many. That experience has made them do 5 steps and they get the results they want. We have to find out what those steps are for us are now that are going to allow us to open that window to blow up, to build an audience, to get success. And that's just the way life works. It doesn't give you everything right away. It's like you got to go through the journey and learn and appreciate it for what it is.
Facts. I'll never forget this. Sometimes things will stay in my head, and I'm like, why is this still in my head? Why do I still remember this thing? And I'll never forget, like, I was watching So We Think We Can Dance. And follow me here. I'm going, I'm
I'm
going
following, bro.
to the moon and
Yeah.
back, and I'm just like, and I'm going to laugh. All right. So, I was watching So We Think You Can Dance Canada. Or no, So We Think You Can Dance, not Canada. And I'll never forget, I was watching this girl who was a gymnast, right? And she had like her first dance audition, and it was with You Can Dance, and she bodies it. You know what I'm saying? Like goes absolutely nuts. And they're like, "This is your first audition? What's going on here?" And she's like, "I'm just a gymnast." And they're, "Oh, okay, you're a gymnast." And of course she passes through, and makes it somewhat far because of the skill she's had. But this is her first audition, so everyone's around there's like, "This is your first audition? What am I doing wrong?" You know what I'm saying? And looks at herself and looks at themselves crazy. In actuality, she's been a gymnast for years, so she has a ton of experience that she's just like pivoting into dance that she can now use. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we'll see someone start a business and like quickly skyrocket when they've been working in corporate. That's the exact equivalent to that for years, and now they can apply all of those years of experience to that and skyrocket quickly because they have the knowledge and the mindset that they've gained from working in corporate or working in that field for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us, like, we have to make sure we're focusing on our own journey and not looking outside because you don't know anybody else's experience. So
Yeah.
and that's one thing you see. Like people like might look at like a Joe Rogan and go to the top and like, yo, he's been doing fighting since he was like a teenager, or it might look at like a EYL and be like, yo, how they grow so quickly? Well, Rashad's been a financial advisor for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be able to talk way more about business than anybody else. How is Andrew Schultz killing it so much? He's been a comedian for 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us can't just look at what other people are doing and think, oh, that should be me. Like we have to put in the work and have that experience over time to get there.
Yeah.
So
Man, and it's humbling, man. It just shows you that mastery, like the level of mastery certain people are at, they make it look so easy, and that's what intrigues you towards doing what they are doing. Like we're seeing Schultz talking on the mic, cracking jokes, Rogan just talking on the mic makes it look so easy, but there's interview skills, there's cadences, there's the way you present on in front of people that come all together, which makes people attracted to them, and that's why they are. But that was years of learning what jokes hit, what how to ask questions, how to build rapport, how to do whatever. It sounds so simple, but there's levels to this. That's why Oprah is Oprah, because Oprah can make people so vulnerable in the snap of a finger. She knows how to do that. That's mastery. If we're talking like in our space, right? So we just gotta appreciate that and just pay respect to the game, because the more you respect it and the more you pay your dues, you're gonna reap what you've been planning for years, and the seeds will start showing fruit.
facts. Man, that's beautifully said, bro. With that being said, that wraps up the podcast. The hustle is what you can control, so control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
And I'm Owen.
That's Hustle Over Everything podcast, y'all.
Peace out,
Peace.
guys. Happy Monday.
So I have a question for you. What's the best email marketing platform for creators? It's ConvertKit. It combines powerful automation with an easy to use interface. The heart of their business is their visual automation tool that allows you to deliver the right message to your audience at the right time. They have pre-built landing pages and forms, so creating and sending out copy is extremely easy. I personally use it with my business when I'm doing webinars. And you can use it too. Right now, we have an exclusive offer for you. ConvertKit is giving you a freemium membership with full access to the landing pages, forums, and email marketing for free, up to 1,000 subscribers. They are one of the only platforms that allows you to add your Facebook pixel to it for free. It allows you to create automation, and it allows you to get the ball rolling with your business. And of course, it integrates with Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, Gumroad, and a ton of other platforms. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit the podcast description and click the link there to get you to this freemium account. It's an amazing service, so make sure you try it out, guys. Let me know how it goes for you. I want to know. All right, let's get into the show. Thank you so much for listening. The conversation continues on our Instagram at 247hustler. We post very frequently. And be sure to check out our merch at hustleovereverything.co. We have some amazing sweaters, hats, mugs, and a lot more. Lastly, our Proud to Pay program is linked in the description below. Thank you so much for your support. Talk to you next Monday. Peace.